Hey, so I thought while I was in the video filming mood, I would make a lip balm video. I got this idea from, her name is, I want to say Kristin Gem, but I think it's Gehm or Ghem, Gehm, but I heard her say it in the video and I think she said Game, Kristin Game. So I'm not sure. She's great. I really like her, really down to earth and knows her stuff, and really like her. I love when you find like a new person on YouTube and you're like, yes, now I get to go back and like watch all her videos from the beginning, which is always fun. It's like watching, you know, an entire like TV series or something like that. I just like doing that. So she just talked about her favourite lip balms and some of the ones she tried that she didn't like so much and how she liked to use them. Generally I just use lip balms when I'm not wearing lipstick, or if I'm wearing lipstick or lip gloss, like I suppose in between applying lipstick. Like every other lip reapplication, I might put on some lip balm, or it just depends. Some days I don't wear anything but lip balm, especially if I'm having like a no makeup day, which means I'll put on like a bit of eye cream, bit of moisturiser, and maybe some concealer, or like a tiny bit of tinted moisturiser or powder or something. I sometimes use like a nice lip balm, or something that has like a slight tint to it. Sometimes can be really nice. These are kind of, they're not like the lip balm that I'm wearing today, which is like a lip balm. It's the Catrice High Shine Colour Balm in the colour Shears. It looks like it would be a really kind of pale nude colour. Well, it looks a bit orangey there, but it does look like a pinky nude in real life. Um, but sort of looks like that. It's just sort of like a rosy tint. It looks like my natural lip colour, but just a bit more pinky. And glossy. It does actually look quite similar to the way it looks on the screen. So it's really nice. I've been really liking this. It's just really handy if you're wearing, I think I'm wearing kind of like purpley eyeshadow and stuff like that today. So I thought it kind of went really nicely. And I've been enjoying wearing things that aren't nudes recently. I've been trying to make myself wear colour during the day, and I find that sheer lip balms are a really nice way to do it. Despite that ramble about this coloured lip balm, I'm not including things like this. I'm kind of going to talk more about kind of lip treatments and like actual like lip balms, like Vaseline and stuff. So yeah, I'll get started. One of my favourite lip balms is actually from Boots, and they're these lip balms. They are the Boots Essentials Lip Salve. They have like a tinted one, a rose tinted one. This one is strawberry flavour, so it's just clear, but it's strawberry flavoured. I've also had the regular one. I think they have a mint one as well, and a sun protection one, I think. But mine is actually all gone now. There's a tiny bit left down there, but it's basically it's really nice. It's kind of, it's not like Vaseline. It's slightly more waxy, but it's not very waxy and very heavy. So I like putting this on before I put any lipstick on in the morning. What I usually do is I put on some eye cream, and then I'll put on my eye primer, and then I'll put on moisturiser on my face, and then I'll put on some lip balm. So basically prepping all the parts of my face that I'm going to put makeup on. And I just find that this works really well. It's easy to wipe off. Even if you don't wipe it off, it sits really well under lipstick, and I always like to have one of these in my bag, because I find that the twist up stick is just so handy during the day. A lot of the time, if it is a pot, I don't mind putting my fingers in a pot, and I'm not one of those people who's paranoid about bacteria, because I know that, you know, all these people who are like germaphobes, who are like, oh my god, my lipstick and stuff like that, like I'm touching my lipstick or whatever. If you use public toilets, particularly if you wash your hands in public toilets, you have a lot more to worry about in the way of bacteria than you. I think it's really handy because you can just pull it out and whack it on and then stick it back in your bag. Whereas with the pot, you have to open it, you have to make sure that you, like, I don't know. It just seems like more of a fuss for daytime. So I do like to have these. Yeah, so the next lip balm I'm going to talk about is actually Vaseline. And the one I have at the moment is the Rosy Lips one, which I really like. It's got a slight tint to it. It's really nice, and it doesn't smell like roses at all. It's got this really nice fruity scent. I really like it. I know people talk about Vaseline as being a really rubbish lip treatment, and I always kind of just assumed that it was going to be, you know, really crap and like the lip therapy tins. It was going to be like, I suppose, the regular Vaseline, like really kind of thin and watery and just kind of melt away into nothing, and not do anything for the lips. But I find that the lip therapy tins, they are thicker, and while they're not as moisturising, I would say, as this, they are quite good, and they're nice. They're a nice sort of lighter lip balm, and they're nice if you like to kind of reapply lip balm all the time. Or I find that if I'm studying or if I'm doing anything at a desk or anything, sitting for long periods of time, it's nice to have there so that you can open it and kind of pop back on and stuff. If I'm doing work and stuff, that's I always like to have a lip balm nearby like that. So that's a good one. And it comes in a lot of different flavors. There's like the what's it called? The cocoa butter one smells really nice, and then there's the aloe vera one, which smells good too. But I think this one's my favourite because it gives a little bit of a tint, and it's really nice if you're not wearing, like if I'm not wearing any eye makeup, sometimes I like to just carry this in my bag with me because you can reapply it and not worry about using a mirror, but it gives adds a little bit of interest to your face, I suppose. Yeah, and then the next one I really like. This is kind of a new one, or well, a relatively new one for me, and it's the Nivea lip butters. This one is the strawberry rosé one. I have the caramel one, and I also have the other one. What's it called? Not the unscented one. It's macadamia and vanilla, and I really like that one. That one's my favourite one. I love the scent, and I actually have that one in my handbag at the moment. But the reason I like that is because it gives a really nice milky tint to the lips, but it doesn't make me, with my skin tone anyway, and I am very pale, so keep that in mind, it doesn't make me look kind of corpse-like, whereas I find that with this one, it's a really light pink, and it looks like it would have more colour to it. I find that when I put this on, I can look a bit dead. It's kind of like almost like a bluey pink, but it's very pale, and I find that if I put even the slightest bit too much of this, it can make me look really washed out and dead. Aside from any variations in colour or anything like that, I think that, or scent, or anything that is kind of like, I suppose, a personal preference. I do really, really, really like the formula of these. I think they have, so microcrystalline wax and paraffin oil are the two first ingredients, and I think the first ingredient in this is microcrystalline wax as well. No, it doesn't, but it's in there. And I don't know too much about chemistry or anything like that, but it seems to be a recurring ingredient in lip balms that I like. So it's nice. It's not that Vaseline texture. This isn't that Vaseline texture either. It's nice and emollient, and it's smooth. It's not sticky. It spreads easily, and it's not too shiny either. It doesn't make your lips look as shiny as Vaseline would, but it's not matte either or anything like that. But it's just really nice. The tins are quite thin, like compared to the Vaseline tin. You get, I think in the Vaseline tin you get 20 grams, and you get 16.7 grams or 19 ml in here. So I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it's a smaller tin. The tins are really cute as well. I think they look really nice, and they're sort of like velvety, which is cool. So that's a really good one. Both all those options are really, really, really inexpensive. So I'll move on to the sort of slightly more expensive ones. One that I've been using just since the summer, really, since I went on holiday, by Rock, and it's their SPF 30 lip balm. So it comes in a stick like that. I don't know, I think you get maybe 3 grams in this, whereas you get 4.5 in this, and it is a taller stick. So it's just a twist up stick, and it's just like a lip balm. It smells really vanilla-y. It's quite waxy. The texture is fairly similar to this one. It is kind of, it's slightly more waxy in the traditional sense. This one, it's not, I would say it incorporates the best of like a waxy lip balm and a smooth lip balm, if that makes any sense to anyone. So it's not, it's not really, really, really waxy, and it's not hard to drag across the lips, but it doesn't disappear like a smoother lip balm might. But this is kind of harder to apply. It's slightly more waxy, but it's really good. The problem is, I think because this has SPF in it, if you end up eating it or any of it ends up going in your mouth, it does taste like chemicals, which is not a nice taste. It just tastes a bit weird, so that's one thing to keep in mind. But I thought it was really good. I managed not to get a sunburn on my lips when I was away, which I was really happy with. So I really like that. I don't know how much it costs because I didn't buy it. So the next lip balm I'll talk about is one that I really don't like, and I thought I'd include this just because there's been a lot of hype about these. I actually mentioned this in a fails video, like beauty disappointments and stuff like that. And this one is the cocoa vanilla one, but just in general, any of them that I've tried, they're the Figs and Rouge lip balms, and I think they have the cutest tins. I just think that pattern is just so nice, and they're just, I think they look really cool, and I really like the tins, but I just really don't like them. A lot of people rave about these, and they seem to be some of the people who don't like Vaseline, and they seem to, a lot of the people who like these, I've heard in videos and stuff. A lot of people who seem to like these seem to be the people who don't like Vaseline, and they say that Vaseline is kind of thin and it doesn't really do anything for the lips. But I found that Vaseline has actually, it's a lot thicker than this, and that these are actually, when you apply them to the lips, they melt into this really oily, kind of thin, insipid like layer on your lips. It just disappears after 5 minutes, and I really don't find that they do very much at all. So although they are organic, and a lot of people are on that kind of like natural organic kick because they think natural organic beauty products are going to be so much better for you, it's actually not the case, and it is just marketing. Like, I know that mineral makeup was all the rage a few years ago, and now the thing is like, natural or organic. Because something is man-made in and of itself doesn't mean that it's bad for you. There are a lot of naturally occurring things in nature that are toxic and deadly, or harmful. So because something is natural or organic, it does not mean in any way that it is good for you. If it's good for you, it's good for you, whether it's natural or it's man-made. I think that people tend to think, I think people have been misled by the marketing, and they've sort of bought into it. And I don't know, there's a bit of mass hysteria on YouTube at the moment surrounding kind of natural products and stuff like that, and I don't think it's as significant as people think it is. But anyway, I suppose long story short, I really don't like these, and they are kind of on the more expensive side. They are, they're not extremely expensive, but they're around €6, maybe pushing €7 at this stage, because I got these about a year ago. So yeah, that's the story with the Figs and Rouge lip balms. I would say I'm going to save the best for last. And this isn't a lip balm that I would use all the time, but I use it specifically at night time, and I only use it if I have really, really, really dry lips. And part of the reason I don't save it, like I use it if I need it and I enjoy using it, but it is kind of quite expensive, and I did get it as a present for Christmas last year, so I don't really want to have to buy this all the time. And it is the Nuxe Rêve de Miel lip balm, and it just comes in a very kind of heavy glass container. You get 15 grams, so not too bad. I think this was around €12. Might have been 10. I think it was 12. I'm pretty sure it was 12. This has, I've heard a lot of people talk about this, and they've described the texture in different ways. I think you can see it. It's kind of like grainy, and it's almost got kind of bits of crystallized like wax or something in it. Kind of the way, like if you have honey that's sitting in the cupboard for a while, it'll crystallize. It's sort of a bit like that. It's a very thick texture. It's quite waxy, but it's not, it's kind of balmy as well. It's not like it wouldn't be as thick and waxy as say this would, but it's a lot more moisturizing, and I don't know what it is about it. It's a really good emollient, and when you put it on your lips at night time, I don't put too thick a layer on because you don't need too much, but I put, a sufficient amount on. It's not one of those things like a tiny dab and you're on your way and it's totally fine. Like, you do have to use like a sufficient amount so that it actually works for you. But I find that when I put it on at night time, by the time I wake up in the morning, if I do have really dry cracked lips, and I get very dry cracked lips, and it doesn't matter how many times I use any of these other lip balms, I still get really dry lips in the winter. And I think my dry skin, it's partly, I suppose, something to do with the weather. It's really cold outside, and you've got the central heating on all the time inside, so it's that sort of extreme that does dry out your skin. But also I know that with me it's hormonal, and no matter how much water I drink and no matter what I apply topically, or what my environment is like. It's coming from the inside, so my skin and my lips and my eyes and everything are going to be quite dry, and I get this. It depends, but it usually plays up around certain times in the month, and I feel it more in the winter. So this is something that really does help, and when nothing else is working, I crack this out. I've heard people talking about the stick, and I think if you are tempted to get the stick, I think the stick is kind of cheaper, but you don't get as much. I would be inclined to recommend this to you over that. I haven't tried it, but I have heard that it's not the same formula at all. And I just even kind of feeling this lip balm, it's not the type of texture that would stand up in a stick. It would probably kind of wouldn't. It's not solid enough really to be in a stick, I suppose. So I'd highly recommend this. I think this would be my recommendation out of all of them. I think my favourites would be, I don't know, my top three would probably be this Boots one, just because it's really convenient, and the strawberry one smells like heaven. It's just, oh, it's so good. It's like those cheap strawberry sweets that you sometimes get at the bank. Those like hard boiled sweets that are just, I don't know, it just smells the way they taste, I guess. And then I really like the Nivea ones, just because I think that, you know, they're great. They're great to keep by your bedside, and they're great to use during the day. And they just look really nice. They make the lips look moisturized and not overly glossy. And I think that they're very good. And then I'd say my favorite would probably be the Nuxe, just because when you have really like dry, cracked lips that are really burny, this really does work, and it's really good. I think it's one of those like miracle French skincare things that really is worth the hype, and I'd highly recommend it. But I'd recommend all of these. I suppose another honourable mention would be the Vaseline, because I really do like it, and I think Vaseline gets a bad rap on YouTube, and I don't think it is the best lip balm, but I do think it's a lot better than Carmex, because I know a lot of people rave about Carmex, but I used Carmex for a long time. I've used like the mint squeezy tube one, I've used the regular stuff, and I've used like the cherry stuff in a pot as well. And the cherry stuff smells absolutely awesome. The mint stuff doesn't smell bad either. But I just find that when I do have dry lips, it doesn't really make them any better, and it kind of almost seems to make them a little bit worse. Whereas the Vaseline doesn't. But anyway, that's my in defense of Vaseline. It's my little spiel. So this is my rather all over the place ramble about lip balms, and you may or may not have found this helpful or enjoyed it, but I enjoyed making it, so it's all good, right? But yeah, anyway, so that is my lip balm video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.